I know you come in here. You were very impressed with what you were wearing earlier today.
Yeah,
and now you feel you've been upstaged.
They've got me beat.
Yes,
fair.
We will explain in mere moments, but the newsroom outside is kind of buzzing, including political reporter Katie O'Malley, who did tweet the fact that she just saw Darth Vader and the Emperor Palpatine stroll by the middle of the CBC newsroom. We will explain why momentarily, but it'll all be explained. Thanks, Lawrence. Queensway traffic busy, both Woodruff and Pinecrest westbound, and that's all we're reporting right now, although we did just get an email from Rebecca who says there's a stalled van on Hunt Club westbound just after Merivale Road. Thanks for that, Rebecca. You can always email us allinaday @cbc.ca or send us a tweet to CBC All In a Day. Tonight, more flurries expected this evening, a low of -7. Winds coming from the west at 30 kilometers an hour, gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour, and then becoming light before morning. A low of -7. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 1. Snow begins in the afternoon with about 2 centimeters expected through the day. Sunday, mix of sun and cloud, low of -5 and a high of -1. Those who know the story of the Battle of Hoth know it well. After destroying the Death Star, the Rebel Alliance has settled in the icy planet in the Hoth system. A probe droid is sent by Darth Vader, and an assault is launched against Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and the rest of the rebels on the snowy planet. Giant AT-AT walkers attack the base, and then the stormtroopers and Darth Vader head to Chapters in Pinecrest to make crafts and talk with the children. If fans of the Star Wars film The Empire Strikes Back think the last part doesn't necessarily sound familiar, well, you have not heard of Hoth Day tomorrow, where, yes, Star Wars characters will be walking around as portrayed by members of the Ottawa chapter, the capital city garrison of Vader's 501st Legion. Playing the role of Vader will be Ottawa's own Luc La Victoire. Forming, 5, 6, 12 other parts will be Rob Taylor. They are both with me in the studio. Hello there.
Hi. Hi.
And I think you have to describe, Luke, what you are wearing right now.
I'm fully dressed in a screen-accurate version of Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi.
Okay, now screen-accurate. Can you describe what makes the screen-accurate?
Basically, I'm the only version of Vader that has a clip for the cape to hang off of.
Wow, it's that specific.
It's that specific.
That's
yeah.
And now you have the helmet off right now. It's sitting. We have Darth Vader's head on the table. In fact, if you put it on, would we be able to do an interview?
It might sound a bit muffled.
I'm just curious. Do you mind?
Sure.
Just curious if you can continue to describe what you're wearing once. I just wonder what Darth Vader. I mean, we know the.
The only thing is he won't sound like James Earl Jones with the helmet on.
It doesn't. So how do you speak through that?
Well, usually I don't speak at all.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
I just have the breathing apparatus that I put on, but I don't know if you'll hear it, but...
Oh. Nice.
We actually, many of our costumes have communication systems also, and Luke has one that he uses in several of his costumes also, which actually make it sound like you're talking through an old radio kind of a thing.
That's actually, that was a bit of an extra effect was added on there by our engineer, Michelle Cousineau. If you're just talking to kids when they're coming up to you, can they understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, you can take the helmet off.
Oh, okay.
Does it get hot in there?
Oh, yes. That's why we got fans in there.
And on top of it, you're wearing like a balaclava around it as well.
Yeah, it's because the helmet is open in the front with all the mesh, and people can see in, so try to be as screen accurate as possible so people can't see, there's a face or a mouth there, right? So we just try to hide everything.
I'm going to come back to the screen accuracy and why it's so important to you in just a moment. But Rob, you are currently wearing what?
This is Darth Sidious, and since I don't have any of the prosthetic makeup on, it's Darth Sidious from Episode 1 or Episode 2 before he had his fight with Yoda.
Okay, and as I mentioned, this is one of the characters that you are ready to play.
Yes, Luke and I, and actually several of our other members.
It's so creepy having you in here saying the word Luke. It's a.
Yes, we tease him about that a lot.
Yes, exactly. Okay, sorry.
But born before the movies.
Understood.
But several of us have 4, 5, 6 different costumes.
All right.
This really is a way of life for some of us.
Describe this way of life. What drew you to want to be dressing up as Star Wars characters, Luke?
Actually, I actually learned about the 501st back in 2003 playing the online game Star Wars Galaxies.
Okay.
And there was a guild that was called the Explorer, the 501st Expeditionary Force. And that's how I found out about the 501st. I already had one costume I just did for Halloween once, and it was good enough to get into the Legion.
You had to audition to get into the Legion?
Oh yeah, there's specific rules to you have to follow when you do Vader or a specific version of Vader or a Stormtrooper or whatever to be as accurate as possible to the movies.
Wow.
And somebody reviews it, and then if it's good enough, you're approved. If not, then they work with you to try and figure out, okay, how do I become accurate, or how can I join the Legion?
And once you're in the Legion, what do you do in these costumes?
Well, basically what we try to do is raise money for various charities across the world. The Legion is based worldwide. There's about 5,500 members worldwide. Over close to 9,000 different costumes that people have.
Wow.
And last year we helped raise across the world $5.8 million for various charities.
Because people want to show up and meet Darth Vader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, Princess Leia, stuff like that. Yeah.
Can I ask what? First, actually, I'll come back to that in a second. But does it have the stamp of approval from George Lucas?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Okay.
3 or 4 years ago, he flew 200 of our members from all over the world to Los Angeles to march in the Rose Bowl parade for him.
Wow.
And just recently, he put out a casting call only to the 501st for Darth Mauls to be actually approved as official Lucasfilm Darth Mauls on the, I can't quite say the payroll of Lucasfilm, but approved to be paid by.
With the lightsaber of approval.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was only the 501st that he spoke to on it.
And I understand you are one of these Darth Mauls.
I am, yes. There are only about 12 in the world that were chosen that Lucasfilm actually allows us to charge. In fact, not only allows us, forces us to charge for appearances as Darth Maul.
So why Darth Maul in particular? Why is that property so different from
Darth Maul actually takes a lot more dedication than most. You have to shave your head. There's like if you wanted to be picked, right? Like I mean, there's people out there that do any kinds of costumes, but if you wanted to be picked, you have to shave your head. You have to glue horns onto your head with surgical adhesive.
Right. This is dedication.
Oh, absolutely.
And you said yes, this is something I want to do.
Yes, I have a great time at it. And then you paint every part of your exposed skin black and red. You have to maintain a certain weight.
Right. Because this is obviously another thing, right? They want the character to look
absolutely
like he did in the movie.
They were very specific actually this time around that they were looking for specific body types, because there are people out there who will do Darth Mauls, even some in the Legion, who are 6'4". Well, Ray Park is 5'10".
This is the actor who played him? Okay.
Right. And he's a martial artist, and he weighs 170 pounds. But so if you weigh, 230, 250 pounds, and you're 6'4",
you're no longer looking like Darth Maul.
Exactly.
All right. So the company's out there to defend their property, but it's interesting that they are allowing charities to have characters like this out at these events. I wonder, Darth Vader's supposed to be the villain, the one everyone fears. When kids are coming up to you, what's their reaction?
Well, you'll get a few kids that are afraid. They wonk come. Like we had one in the green room who was afraid. He didn't want to come close to us. But
also probably wondering why CBC has these two very dark clad people sitting in the green.
But other kids will come and meet you and shake your hand, and then usually I have my saber or something like that. Then they'll hold the saber for pictures and stuff like that, ask you questions and everything like that.
And are they asking you questions in character, like asking you questions to Darth Vader?
Yes. Yes.
Like, and they're shaking your hand. Good job blowing up that Alderaan planet.
Oh no, it's just saying, "Hi, Darth Vader." That's just shake your hand and take a picture, and then they smile and run away, kind of thing.
Now, you're also dealing with kids who are of very. Can I see the helmet for a second?
Sure.
I do not want anything to happen to this before the event, but I'm.
Oh, that's fine.
Can I put it on?
Yeah. There's an elastic band in the back to try and.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you cannot see out of this thing very far.
It's difficult, yes.
Out of those little bits of mesh, you're supposed to see the kid. Do you kick the kids?
It's happened before that I hit some by mistake by walking. That's why we have some handlers with us. We call them handlers, so they are eyes and ears.
You actually do need stormtroopers. That's why he has them around him all the time. They're guiding him down the hallway.
Well, except that the stormtrooper helmets are probably just as hard, if not harder, to see out of than Darth Vader's. Yeah.
Have you had accidents as well as a stormtrooper?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do clone troopers mostly, but yes, I have, actually. I've fallen up many stairs.
Now, I'm thinking the clone that I'm thinking of from the movie, they had really skinny necks, though. How do you put that costume on?
Well, it's fairly tight. In the movies, they never actually made any of the actual costumes. So when we made our costumes, we made them as close as we could. But you have to make them for human anatomy, so it's very tight fitting. But it's slightly larger than what you actually saw in the movies.
All right, I'm putting the. I have great. This is like heavy. Is the hand that holds the helmet? I'm terrified that something bad is going to happen to this. And then there's also like you have a life-size R2-D2 that drives around as well.
Yeah,
right?
One of our members, Jason McDonald, built one. Took him a couple of years to build in his basement, and it's remote controlled. Does all the sounds. The head spins. It's screen accurate. It's gorgeous.
And I just want to clarify, you made this Darth Vader costume?
Actually, no, it's parts. Well, members from the Legion have made parts available to other members.
Okay.
And that's how I assemble my costume. It took me over a year to assemble a costume, and yeah.
And I'm actually one of the Legion's prop masters. I haven't made a Vader helmet, but I've made several other helmets.
This is a serious dedication that goes into this. How many hours would you say go into costume creation, for instance?
My Episode 2 helmet, Clone Trooper helmet, I had about 400 hours on the helmet.
Wow. Doing what?
Sculpting. That particular helmet I actually sculpted out of plastic and Bondo. But I did the Royal Guard out of fiberglass. And it's just a matter of trial and error.
Is there a point where has anything ever broken on the outfits?
Always.
Yes.
I don't know whether the wardrobe malfunctions happen in space or
all
not.
the time. In fact, it happened tonight. My clasp came off as I was.
The Emperor is claspless.
Yes.
The Emperor has no clasp. That's what they'll be saying. Is it, for you, for Vader, have things gone wrong?
So far, knock on wood, no.
It's very funny seeing the Vader glove just knock on our table.
Yeah, the only thing that has gone wrong is my fan dying. Like the battery just runs out, or lights on my chest box or whatever just goes out. Just battery ran out.
Typically, actually, the Vaders have trouble with that chest box. Several of the pieces will come off because if you saw what was happening there, his armor came down over top of the chest box, and it will knock things off there a lot.
I like the fact you say typically Vaders will have problems with the chest. It sounds like there's sort of a forum somewhere where the Vaders are getting together. There is a forum where the Vaders get together?
Absolutely, yes.
And they say problems with chest box? Me too?
Oh, yeah. In fact, they talk about ways that they can avoid the problems with the chest box. We've got to be a couple hundred Vaders in the Legion.
Oh, yeah.
Vader's fairly popular.
All right, before I let you go, what happens at a Hoth day? What happens tomorrow? I mean, you've got the perfect weather for Hoth right now.
Basically, the event at the Pinecrest location of chapters, one of the store managers, his name is Corey, saw us at the Help Santa Toy Parade back in November, and he said he thought we were so great he wanted to do something with us. He communicated with me, and he said, I got this idea about doing Hoth Day, about just kids doing crafts and meeting Star Wars characters and stuff like that. And I said, sure, let's see what we can do. And the Legion has an activity book we've got printed out so the kids can do that as well. And we've done in the U.S. quite a bit. It's a promotional tour with DK Publishing. And I got communication with them to say, hey, we're doing something at the Chapters, big bookstore. You guys interested in doing some promotional events at the same time? They said, yes, no problem. They sent a bunch of books and posters and wristbands and stuff like that for us to give to the kids tomorrow.
All right, so kids can go out, head through the snow to experience Hoth over at Chapters location at Pinecrest Shopping Mall, 2735 Iris. Luke, Rob, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Luke LaVictoire and Rob Taylor among those in the capital city Garrison who will be dressed up in Star Wars costumes for Hoth Day at the Chapters location. For details about the group, by the way, you can go to capitalcity501st.ca.
from somewhere.
Yes. Yes. I'm George.